We all know that one of the major benefits of trademarks is that it gives you protection over your brand. But did you know that trademarks also have the power to unlock entire new streams of revenue for your business? Before I go on, hi, I'm attorney Aiden Durham with 180 Law Co. in Colorado. You are watching All Up in Your Business. A couple of quick housekeeping little tidbits. While I am a lawyer, I am not your lawyer. The stuff I talk about in this video is not a substitute for actual legal advice. If you need help with any legal situation, you should consult with a lawyer. And I also recently moved to Austria, and I'm still trying to get my filming set up. So bear with me if things aren't ideal. There are also a couple of gigantic flies flying around, so hopefully they don't mess this whole thing up. All right, so you may be asking, Aiden, how can that be? How can trademarks help me make more money, open up new streams of revenue for my business? Through licensing, of course. Trademark licensing is a type of agreement where the owner of a trademark agrees to let a third party use their trademark, gives this third party a license to use their trademark. The trademark owner, the licensor, allows the other party, the licensee, to use their trademark or their trademarks for a specified purpose in exchange for a licensing fee and or royalties. We see licensing play out in real life in a lot of different ways. Sports teams or universities might license their logos to clothing manufacturers. A popular restaurant chain might license their trademarks to food producers to have lines of frozen prepared foods available in grocery stores. If you go to the grocery store, you might see the TGI Fridays frozen potato skins. That's a licensing deal going on. Companies like Disney license their characters like Mickey to clothing and other product manufacturers. We also see this in franchises like a Subway or a McDonald's. The franchisee receives a license from the franchisor in exchange for a franchise or licensing fee. Licensing and partnering up with other parties is a great way to fully utilize the power of your business's trademark and the brand overall. There are a lot of benefits to trademark licensing. Licensing can help to facilitate brand growth and monetization, of course. By entering into licensing agreements, brands can expand their product reach, expand their market presence, add new streams of revenue, and grow their overall brand recognition. And this growth and monetization can be beneficial for both the licensee and the licensor. The licensor gets their logo, their brand on more products. The licensee gets to utilize this well-known brand for their products. By licensing your trademark to be used by other companies, it can expand your overall brand recognition, getting you into other markets that you may not otherwise be able to easily get into. Sure, if I'm a restaurant chain, I can start my own line of frozen food products, but that's a whole lot to go into to start from ground zero and build up manufacturers and all the things that go into producing frozen foods. But if I partner up with a company that already does that, they can just put my trademarks on the products so much easier. It lets the licensor kind of diversify their portfolio of offerings, and usually with relatively minimal investment. And as the trademark owner, the licensor, it often allows you to get into other geographic regions as well, again, with relatively minimal investment. There are a lot of benefits to trademark licensing, of course, but it's not all fun and games. There can be some downside, some challenge that comes along with licensing. First off, for the licensor, it could potentially jeopardize your brand reputation and quality. A part of licensing agreements typically has to do with quality control. Let's say I partner up, I'm the licensor, and I partner up with a merchandise manufacturer. What if they don't put out good quality products? That can affect my brand's reputation. Or what if they put out really good products that are better than what I'm already putting out. This inconsistency can potentially lead to some confusion amongst my customer base. So when we're getting into these licensing agreements, maintaining and kind of monitoring that quality control is going to be really important. There could also be issues related to liability. Even in a licensing agreement, the licensor could potentially be liable for issues that come up with the licensed products, especially if these products lead to harm or damage to consumers. I'm putting my name on this product. Maybe I'm not making it, but I'm putting my name on it. If someone gets hurt from that product, gets damaged or harmed by it, that can potentially fall back on me. Oh, hi, there you are. Okay, Bird has joined the conversation now. A lot of times in these licensing agreements, they might be exclusive or non-exclusive licenses too. That can potentially have issues with if I have entered into an exclusive license with a manufacturer, if they're not doing a good job, if their sales suck, I'm kind of locked into this agreement now and I don't have any other options because it's an exclusive license. And another big potential, drawback to licensing, there is sometimes a very fine line between a license and a franchise. Like I said, licensing is a big part of franchising as well. But if we put too much control in with this license, if I am the licensor and I want a lot of control over how the licensee uses my branding, uses my trademarks, that can potentially start creeping into franchise territory. And franchise territory is a whole new world, a whole new complicated world. So if we're not careful, what looks like a license could potentially become a franchise, and that can lead to a whole host of problems in itself. Anytime you're even considering entering into some kind of license deal with another party, it is really important to have a lawyer help you through that process, help you draft up the agreement for all of these reasons I've stated. And you definitely, absolutely want to have a written contract, a written license agreement with the parties. These agreements vary exactly what they say. It's always going to be different, but some of the important things that we typically see in a license agreement are going to be just generally the scope of the license. What am I licensing? Is it my brand name? Is it my brand logo? Is it a specific version of my logo? And for what use? Exactly what is the licensee able to do with my branding? Are they able to make whatever merchandise they want, or are we licensing it for one specific line of products? Quality control, like I said, what quality control measures does the licensor have? That's going to be a big part of one of these licensing agreements. The financial terms, of course, who's paying how much to whom? The licensor typically gets a licensing fee, sometimes royalties from the sales of the products, the merchandise, whatever it is that's being licensed and sold. Duration and termination. How long is this license going to continue? They're usually not forever. They're not going to be perpetual licenses. Usually there's going to be a specific duration, and typically both parties are going to want some options for terminating or getting out of the contract if things don't really go as we initially thought. And like I mentioned, these agreements will also often address, is this an exclusive license or a non-exclusive license? As the licensee, often you might want an exclusive license because now I'm the licensee, I'm the only one who can make these products using this branding. If it's non-exclusive, then potentially my products that I'm making won't be as good as this other company that also has a similar license. So the agreements will typically address exclusivity or non-exclusivity. Trademark licensing is potentially a really great tool for brand growth and monetization. The specific type of license and the details of the license are going to depend on the circumstances of the licensee and of the trademark owner, the licensor. What might work for one situation, one partnership, is not always going to work for another partnership. So proper planning and proper legal guidance is going to be of utmost importance if you're getting into any kind of licensing deal. So always talk to a lawyer if you are even thinking about potentially licensing your brand or becoming a licensee of somebody else's. That's all for this episode, folks. Thanks for sticking around. If you learned a thing or two, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click that little bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. Comment if you have tips on, I don't know, how to make this setup a little bit better. It's a work in progress, you guys. It's gonna be okay. I'm gonna figure it out. And of course, check the description for links to additional information and resources. If you're kind of new to the world of trademarks, I've got another video that kind of gets back to the basics of trademarks. Licensing is not very much the basic of trademarks. Let's get back to kind of more simple terms with trademarks. I've got another video right here that'll help you do that. I'll meet you over there. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aiden Durham, and I'll see you next time.